I know there are several proposals. There was a proposal by CRA of 17 billion. Then the National Treasury, 4 or 5 billion. And the Kenya Kwanza leadership and the ODM leaderships agreed on 450 billion. So I don't know where Treasury came up with the 4 or 5. Because if you remember, Madam Speaker, in the current financial year, we had agreed on 4 or 5. And they reduced it to 380 billion. And then eventually, during the mediation, we went back to 387.5. And this included 425 million for libraries that were, their services were devolved to Honorable Speaker. Madam Speaker, as the Senator for Elgeyo-Marakwet County is just getting, they've been getting 4.8 billion. And for the last 10 years, I've said many times in this House, Madam Speaker, that there are some counties, actually about 10 counties or so, Madam Speaker, that are getting less than 6 billion. These counties, the business they've been doing basically has been putting up ECD, infrastructure, paying salaries for employees, and maintenance and evaluation. There is nothing meaningful or a flagship projects that they've undertaken, Madam Speaker. And if we go this way, I've said that in the next few years, some counties like Elgeyo-Marakwet County, Lamu, Tharaka-Nithi, Isiolo, basically devolution will have only benefited in terms of payment of salaries, but no meaningful development, Madam Speaker. So that's why I'm saying, as a Senate, I don't think we are going to support this bill. We will ensure we don't pass it so that we go into mediation. Let's get the 450 billion, Madam Speaker, so that our counties can do some meaningful development to our people. The reason why for devolution was to ensure there is equitable development across the country. That was the main reason why the 2010 Constitution was passed, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, as I say that, Madam Speaker, if you go through the bill, CRA, they gave that proposal for 417. Treasury 405. And what the National Treasury is basing their 4 or 5 billion, they are basing it on the last audited accounts and approved by National Assembly, basically 2020, 2021. So I wonder why National Assembly is not helping the counties by ensuring they look at the audited accounts up to date. We should be basing the share of revenue on 2022-23 at worst. Otherwise, we should be basing it on 2023-2024, Madam Speaker. The current CS for National Treasury was the chair for PAC in National Assembly. So we want to tell him, Madam Speaker, that we will not accept anything short of 450 so that our counties can progress, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we also want to urge our colleagues in National Assembly that let us fast track looking at the reports, looking at the audited reports for national government, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I think I agree with the member who has said we have had this constitution for the last 10 years, 15 years, Madam Speaker. The current constitution was passed August 2010. This year, August, it will be 15 years. Maybe it is high time, Madam Speaker, that we relook, we audit the constitution. Madam Speaker, this House, the Senate, actually should be the one who should be approving the audited accounts because we have interest with the counties. We'll fast track. But you know, National Assembly are not interested to disperse resources, proper resources to go to the counties. So they can delay, they can track their feet to pass and look at the audited accounts, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I know we have discussed issues on equalization fund. It's been there for these 12 years or so, Madam Speaker. Every year, Treasury allocates resources. By end of the financial year, there is nothing that has been dispersed to the counties. Because there is a fight between some ministries of national government and also counties on who is supposed to do the actual implementation. I know we discussed several issues in the last parliament in National Assembly. Ministry of Water wanted to implement some projects. Ministry of Roads wanted to implement some, and eventually nothing happened. In fact, I believe National Assembly have also extended, because I think the 20 years are lapsing soon. I think they wanted to extend by another 10 years or so, Madam Speaker. So we need to put our foot down. You cannot say we have, I heard Senator Ed saying we already have 26 billion in National Treasury. If there is 26 billion plus 9, that is 35. Why are we not dispersing? It means basically there is, money in the budget is not money until exchequer is released. Yeah, so we should be aware that when we are told we have 26 billion, where is it? Why can't we transfer then in an escrow account? Yeah, so we need to be alive to that, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, we also need to call on the governors. There is a conversation to have county integrated revenue management system by Treasury. And there is a conversation among the Council of Governors to resist. Why are they resisting a system that will help them to collect revenue? Because we were discussing in Civic District, Madam Speaker, that Nairobi County, when they implemented a new management revenue system, Madam Speaker, they were able to raise revenue from 10 billion to 12 billion in a financial year. So if they can get a system that is supported by National Treasury, Madam Speaker.
What's your point of order, Senator Lekina?
Madam Speaker, I really do not want to raise this point of order and actually raise it on my good friend, who I have a lot of respect for. But our constitution is very clear. Our county governments are semi-autonomous.
What is your point of order based on Senator Ledama?
Is under Standing Order 105 on Statement of Facts. Is a senator in order to purport that the national government, Treasury, can be able to control the management of the finance in the county government? Yet the county government is clear. The money that is deposited in the county revenue fund is protected under Article 207 of the Constitution. And when you read, I believe it's Article 209, or is it 219, Kajwang, that says that a share of revenue raised by the national government or county government shall be released without undue delays or any deductible. So is it good senator in order to propose that county governors should agree to Treasury controlling their revenue-making systems?
Madam Speaker, the good governor and the minority whip has misunderstood me, Madam Speaker. I said what the National Treasury is trying to do, which is a good thing, is to look for a good county revenue integrated management system, and this is basically giving them a grant, a donation, so they don't have to use their own revenue to buy a system. Just the way, Madam Speaker, already the counties are enjoying the integrated financial management information system on the expenditure side of the revenue. What is wrong in giving them a system to collect their own revenue, and they'll be able to support the system on their own, and basically they can have part of the system domicile in their own server or in a cloud. So so basically National Treasury will not, or national government will not control the revenue. They are only helping them to give them a system. I mean, it is the way they have even in the past. They have partnered to have the managed agreement system, which we know it was a scam. And then now they are planning to also have to get additional things. So basically this is not managing the system, it's helping them so that they can have a standardized ICT system. Instead of others going to Safaricom, others are going to use different people. So it will also be very easy for us to audit. You can imagine auditing or checking for the 7 county revenue systems. So, Madam Speaker, It is clear now.
Are you clear now on the issue? I'll give you 1 more minute to just clarify.
Well, so that it doesn't spend my minutes, Madam.
Madam Speaker, I think we need to be very careful.
Your minutes will be posted.
Madam Speaker, we need to be very careful. We are here to protect county governments, but not to go to bed with the national government. So, if the good senator is saying that National Treasury is proposing but not putting conditions, it has to be clear so that whoever comes in, and what I want to remain on record, and I hope that my good friend will make sure that he clarifies his submissions, is that this is not mandatory. We don't want scandals. This is a suggestion, but it's up to the county government to decide yes or no. I hope that's what he's saying, and I would be satisfied if that's what he's saying. But if it is saying that it is so that we in the Senate can be able to audit that, then we'll have a serious problem with that, because we'll now be micromanaging counties' revenue-raising measures. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
You know, Madam Speaker, this is still a proposal, and I believe the National Treasury and the County Council of Governors have a conversation, and I'm not speaking for National Treasury or the governors or the county government. I was just raising what is outside there, and also as an expert in the ICT industry. You know, occasionally I get consulted for free of charge. So that's why I also wanted to advise the House free of charge, Madam Speaker, this afternoon, that there is conversation outside there, and it's a good thing. And I believe if counties already, like now Nairobi County, have a system, they say they were able to to raise revenue from 10 billion to 12 billion. If it's a good system, they proceed with their own. I don't think we're able to be forced. And if it is free, why not? 50 or 30 or 100 million to pay for software. So we'll pick it, we'll be very glad to get that system, because my county doesn't have, say, 50 or 100 million to buy it. So those who have resources like Narok, because they get a lot of revenue from the Conservancy and the Masai Mara, they can buy their own. It's free. It's not free, please. Madam Speaker, we also need to put the governors on the check. Why are they not collecting enough revenue? Every year, all the counties, they budget a lot in terms of on-source revenue. But by the end of the financial year, they have only collected 40 or 50%. And then in the process, Madam Speaker, they accrue a lot of pending bills. We need to audit and check so that if, say, Elgeyo-Marakwet County collected last year 200 million, we should not accept them to propose that they are going to collect to 500 million. What miracle is there for them to double? So basically, so that they can progressively maybe add around 10 to 15 or 20%. Otherwise, at the end of the day, Madam Speaker, we are going to have a lot of pending bills. People are going to suffer. They'll be given tenders to do work at the counties, and at the end of financial year, there are no resources, Madam Speaker, to pay for works that have been done, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, there is also something that is not going right at our counties, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, when the control of budget approves expenditures, Madam Speaker, some governors divert. A senator for Narok is saying all governors divert. Instead of paying those that have been approved, they pay the friends. They pay where they know they are going to get a cut, where they are going to get 10% or 20%, Madam Speaker, and then in the process, those genuinely where the control of budget has approved payment for them don't get the money, Madam Speaker. This is also where we are saying, as Senate, we want the controller of budget to automate basically this release of payments, and then ensure the counties don't have an opportunity to replace the payee. The only thing they can do is maybe to reduce the amount, because if they have requested for, say, 20 million for a particular supplier, they can only reduce maybe to 15, 12, or whatever, what they have been given. But they should not change the supplier. This is what we are saying the controller budget should do and put it in place, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I know tomorrow we'll be meeting and also discussing the formula, Madam Speaker. So I want to urge my colleagues, for the sake of equity, for the sake of helping the younger brother, Madam Speaker, let's sit down, see how we can ensure our counties that are getting less than 6 billion can be cushioned, Madam Speaker, so that at least we can move and do work and do something meaningful for our counties, Madam Speaker, so that at least all these small counties can have good hospitals, we can have the level 5s. Currently, we have level 5s, but when you go to the hospitals, basically they are level 3. Madam Speaker, with all those many remarks, I don't support the bill. We sit down, let's not approve this bill so that we can go into mediation to get basically the 450 that our counties deserve. Thank you, Madam Speaker.